Inside TopWatch, of course, all the watches online, topwatch.co.za. Again, surprised at the amount of stock readily available in the Cape Town store, and what a decision when it comes to choosing a watch. From vintage Breitling Navitimers all the way to the latest and greatest in innovation from the folks at Panerai. On my wrist today, well, it's in their inventory. It's a 5513. When it comes to collecting Rolex, it gets no more special than this. This is the cream of the crop. The original James Bond was a 5512. This is a 5513, which makes it extra special. Highly collectible. This domed plastic acrylic glass just makes it whole dial pop. It really, the patina on the hands and the lume on the dial, this is just a must-have for collectors. So 5513 is now in stock, and like I said, they've got a beautiful vintage Navitimer in the display case as well. But let's find out from one of the gentlemen who I happen to have known for a couple of years here at TopWatch. He's responsible in making sure that all these watches tick. I'm here with Ashley, who I've known for a couple of years, and when it comes to looking after your service requirements, TopWatch have got you covered. And this is what I like. As a collector who collects more than one brand, you need to know that when you're handling your watch, and especially if it's a nice vintage piece, something that's very close to your heart, as these pieces tend to be, you need to know that you're giving it to somebody who you can trust with your baby. And Ashley is one of those gentlemen. Ashley, I've known you for so many years, and you know how pedantic I am as a watch lover. When it comes to my watches and making sure they run well, I mean, I'll phone Ashley and say, Ashley, you won't believe it, my watch is running 2 seconds faster today. And Ashley will go, but that's normal, Ryan. I'll go, no, Ashley, sort it out. How long have you been in the watch repair business for?
It's been 40 years, Ryan.
40 years?
Yes.
The years have been kind to you. You don't look like you've been 40 years.
I still feel 25.
It must be a stressful environment. And your eyes and your hands, the relationship between those two, crucial.
Yes. You have to be steady. You've got to have a fairly good eyesight.
Yeah.
I still have a fairly good eyesight.
Excellent.
But I think it's the passion.
Yeah. And seeing the insides of a watch like that you've shown me before, the intricacy of how this baby comes to life, how in your hands you'll disassemble a watch, it'll be little small pieces of rotors, etc. Once it's assembled, it starts beating with a little bit of a heartbeat. The
excitement of starting with it and getting the end result is amazing.
Now, how do you also, because the one thing that fascinates me about you specifically is that you deal with every watch on earth. I mean, I phoned you before with some bizarre serial numbers. I've gone, Ash, do you know how to? Yes, no, that's the twin barrel movement with the thing, You must be up to date as well with every single movement that's available on the market in terms of technology to be able to service it.
I try to.
Yeah.
It's not always possible, but I enjoy what I see. It's always a challenge.
Yes.
And I mean, watchmaking, it's in my blood.
Now, I know it's going to be tough to ask you which models are the easiest to fix or service, but I have this in front of us. This is a bread and butter watch. This was a movement in here that Rolex have created for this 5513. It's so simplistic. It is so cleverly designed in terms of making sure when it does come to you that your job is relatively easier than it,
Your normal automatic watches are the most simple to repair.
Right.
It's more with more complicated watches that has the chronographs and have the big dates and your
moon phase movements.
Your moon phase movements.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's those watches.
Makes it more complicated, but
absolutely.
It's fairly easy when you understand watchmaking.
Yeah. And also, I mean, there's some watch makers out there, and I mean, actually, you must scratch your head when you get it and you think, oh no, this Breguet, I know, or this certain watch needs has a ferrous cage, and you got to remove that first, and then to get to the barrel that you need to remove this plate and that plate, and just to make a small thing like a regulation, whether it's a swan neck or whatever you like. People expect, and this is like as a watch enthusiast, we expect that when something goes wrong with our watches, we can go, let me just check it in quickly with TopWatch. Can I have it back in like an hour or two? Hey, how often do you get that?
We do get it.
and people expect their stuff immediately.
And we try to satisfy everybody.
Well, I can tell you something. I am, like I mentioned earlier on, I'm extremely finicky when it comes to servicing my watch, because it's something that I want to last a lifetime. It's not something that I purchase for the short term. It's something that I want my kids to wear, and my kids' hopefully, to be able to get enjoyment out of. So when it comes to servicing it, I always make sure that I bring it along to TopWatch, and the likes specifically of Ashley. And there's a team of guys that they have here at TopWatch that are the best of the very best at servicing your timepiece. So Ashley, just a huge thanks from my side for the great work. I know that comes with that it's 40 years. It's not just an overnight a trade that you've picked up to be able to come and service a watch. That vast experience is what makes you the very best of your kind in the world. So just a huge thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate it.
Lovely. Come visit Ashley, and if you're ever near the TopWatch store in Cape Town, if you peek in, which I'm sure he gets a lot of during the day because there's visitors in the hotel nearby, you can actually peek in and watch Ashley at work on some of these most magnificent pieces that they've got in stock here. Come on and check. Wide variety of stuff on sale, and more importantly, make sure that you're informed when making a decision to buy. Come and see the friendly sales staff as well. That's topwatch.co.za.